see us really being at business school as people that are going to be focused on changing the world, entrepreneurs, business leaders. I really think that's the direction that Poole headed.
To me, what sets the students and alumni from Poole College apart from other universities is when they're at Poole College, they have an opportunity to work on real-world problems. So when they graduate and enter the business world, they already have that experience.
When I joined Poole College, they helped me break out of my shell. They helped me gain better networking skills, and they actually showed me who I could become in the future. And that's why I would call them inspirational. Now I can do whatever I want and be whoever I want to be.
I think in all facets of what we're doing, whether it's the research with the faculty, the programming with the students, the teaching in the classroom, you really find individuals that are striving to be excellent in their work. And you just find that people care about doing excellent work, doing work that is innovative and thoughtful. And when you walk through the halls of Nelson Hall, people are invested in making sure that we're doing work that is meaningful and that is impactful.
People really try to help others succeed because we know that if we work together, we're all going to succeed together. And that is something that is hard to replicate, and it's particularly unique to Poole College.
Poole College is eager to produce solutions that North Carolina and the world needs. And it shows in their constant investment in being part of the change.
What's unique about the Poole community is the fact that there's such a strong family environment. It is big and important that everybody gets along well and you have support in and outside of the classroom. Immediately I could see the strength of the community itself and how people helped out each other and how people rejoiced in the success of others, and I think that was a big drawing factor for me.
Because of the ability to work on real-world issues and work with the business community while they're students, our alumni are much better equipped to start their careers.
I think that's what I'm really more excited about than anything else, is how the college is embracing change and trying to make sure that when students graduate, they'll have relevant skill sets to allow them to have successful careers.
In one of our marketing courses, we worked with a local co-op. In one of our supply chain and logistics courses, we worked with a local brewery. In another one of our marketing courses, we worked with a leadership development academy. I think that is pretty unique, and it's pretty fortunate that the Jenkins MBA program has all the relationships that they do.
So I think the think and do spirit is in every individual at Poole College, whether it is current students or faculty or even our alumni. Anytime we ask our alumni to do anything for us, they always go beyond because they carry that think and do spirit beyond the time they spend at the college.
The focus we have on student internships, international opportunities, to really get our students out there in the real world, that to me is the do side of think and do.
On a day-to-day basis, I get to meet with students, hear what their goals are, hear what their interests are, and then make that a reality and let them have that experience around the world that is transformative to their own experience and to their own perspective.
We are helping create business leaders who are going to be able to lead their organizations in the most multicultural and plural world that we have ever experienced. And we're giving them the skills to be able to navigate that world.
I expect that we will continue to be nationally and internationally ranked. I expect that we will still be able to attract the best talent in our faculty. And I expect that that will draw the best students to Poole College.
Poole College is a special place. I should know, as I've been here for over 25 years. First as a professor, then as a department head, and now as dean. Here at Poole College, we know that our graduates will leave with the think and do spirit of NC State. Let's face it, that's just smart business.
Good afternoon. I am Frank Buckless, Dean of the NC State Poole College of Management. On behalf of our entire college community, congratulations to you, the class of 2022, on this achievement. It is my pleasure to extend a warm Wolfpack welcome to you and your family and friends here today for the Poole College of Management's December 2022 commencement ceremony. I know this is a big day for all of you, a moment for you to celebrate your hard work and achievements, and a time for you to look with excitement towards your future, whether that's the beginning of a promising career, further education, or on to adventures far or near. This is a special time for your family and friends, those who have supported you as you've moved through your studies to achieve your goals. At this time, will the family members and friends of our graduates please stand so that we can show you our appreciation for all you have done to make today a reality. Earlier this morning at the university ceremony, many of you joined the NC State community where we officially acknowledge you by the university. We now come together as a college community to recognize you and your achievements. This is an especially meaningful time for our faculty and staff who have worked with you throughout your academic careers. This is a joyous time for us as we witness your official transition from student to alum of the Poole College of Management. We are very proud of what you have accomplished. I speak for all my colleagues when I say that being a part of your NC State experience motivates us to be more impactful teachers and scholars. At Poole College, we are fortunate to be a part of a community that celebrates excellence, innovation, inclusion, and ethical decision-making to address the challenges and opportunities of our world through our collective talents, strengths, and experiences. You graduate today from Poole College armed with a world-class education, critical analysis skills, and an entrepreneurial approach to addressing the world's challenges and opportunities. I know that through you, we can and will achieve the extraordinary. After you cross the stage today, you will receive your official Poole College of Management pin. This pin represents your accomplishments as a student and your connection to all of our college's graduates who preceded you, as well as those who will follow you. We have established a tradition of applying this pin for the first time during this commencement ceremony. So as you receive your pin, please go ahead and attach it to your robe and wear it with pride. We also have a tradition here at Poole College to have one of your peers as a speaker. Your commencement speaker today is Jeremiah Graham. Jeremiah will be graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a concentration in marketing and a minor in art and design. Hailing from Columbia, South Carolina, Jeremiah was a member of the American Marketing Association and Arts at NC State. He is currently an organic social media marketing intern at Apple. Graham's most memorable event at Poole College was an American Marketing Association social gathering that was a mixer networking event at a bowling alley and arcade game. So yes, every once in a while, parents, we do allow our students to have some fun. Following graduation, Jeremiah hopes to continue working with Apple full-time within the digital marketing, social media marketing, or creative space. So please welcome Jeremiah Graham.
This is crazy. Good morning. I am Jeremiah Graham, Apple Campus Leader from North Carolina State University and magna cum laude honor student, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, concentration in marketing with a minor in art and design. I want to thank all the faculty, staff, friends, and family members of our amazing Wolfpack grads for being here today to celebrate the end of a monumental chapter in our lives, yet the start of a new one. Although at times it felt unobtainable to be at the ceremony today, but we all weathered the storm of MIE 305 and can now celebrate our success. Although this is a big day of accomplishment, I believe there are bigger days ahead of us. It's taken a lot out of us to get to this point, but it doesn't stop here. Your patience and mental toughness will continue to be tested. But understand this, resilience is what got us here today and will continue to propel us forward. I know that some of us can vividly remember the decision we made to attend college from our list of acceptance letters. Some of you are here because state's in your family's blood, or state's your dream school, or maybe because you strongly hate that shade of blue. As for me, by coming here, I took a risk. Being the first child out of 3 to go off to college was a lot of pressure. I felt it hanging over me these past 4 years, even on my brightest days. As I'm proudly standing here to say that, the pressure only made it easier for me to handle adversity through the tribulations I've endured. Resilience is a word that most of us are familiar with, but not many know what it's looked like put into action. I spent a lot of time on LinkedIn, and I found a strong article about resilience written by the co-founder of EI Advantage, Janice Guerre. Full circle moment here. I don't know about my fellow students, but I never thought I'd be spending this much time on LinkedIn as I do now. Funny how college works, right? But Janice highlighted the 3 C's of resilient leadership. C number 1 is challenge. Number 2, control. And number 3 is commitment. These attributes are the reason why some people are able to handle stressful situations with ease, while others struggle to handle that within their own situations. We all have gone through and will continue to bear through tough points in our life. Let's examine how these 3 C's of resilience can set us up for a major success in the future. First, challenge. This is a moment in which an abrupt situation is now your view of an opportunity, not the end of the road. As an inner city black kid growing up, the education system was tough on me. I felt lost at times. Attending predominantly white schools, I felt like I was overlooked by my instructors and peers to receive an equal learning opportunity in the classrooms. I found myself constantly searching for their validation of my own personal success. This was a tough challenge for me, but I did not let that stop me from pursuing higher education. When I first began applying for schools, I had many in and out-of-state options on my list. I had the dream of attending a graphic design program out of state, but life had bigger plans for me. I came to state as my first selection was a little too costly, and I didn't want to bury myself alive in massive student loan debts. In 2019, I was admitted into NC State as a Spring Connect freshman. I felt apprehensive about my decision, but I was eager to explore the graphic design program here, so I heard nothing but rave comments from faculty. I had a strong portfolio ready for the CODA submission, though I felt like my submission was contingent as I was not admitted within the College of Design during the initial application process. A month goes by, and when it was time to matriculate, I received a denial, a response that I was not anticipating. Feeling confused, I discussed with advisors. I was told maybe it's just my academic standing, I need to take some more prerequisite design courses. At the time, I was going into my sophomore year, so I could see the reasoning behind that. Yet, I found myself in another challenge, having to prove others of my talents. I submitted a CODA once more in the fall. Another denial. At this point, I'm going through a jumble of emotions. Started to doubt myself and talent that God had blessed me with. I completed the necessary courses I was told will qualify my submissions, and I just know my graphic design work doesn't suck. Feeling hopeless and overwhelmed, I panicked and contemplated dropping out or transferring. I did not want to seek any other options. I felt as if I would be wasting my time within a major that I wasn't passionate about because I couldn't achieve the goals that I had set for myself. I told my dad, hey, I'm thinking about dropping out of college and running my business full-time, or transferring to another university to study graphic design there. I faced the first C on Janice's list, challenge. Life threw me a curveball. My dream seemed to be over, but my dad recognized that the challenge ahead would only make me better, and he told me, you just gotta stick it out, because it'll all work out, just give it some time. That brings us to the second C, which is control. Control is holding your composure, staying emotionally strong so that you deal with the challenge ahead to maximize your outcomes. I lost control of my emotions, but I took my dad's advice and weighed out all the outcomes and the decisions I had planned. Then, my dad presented me with a new alternative. He's been in the business industry for 20 plus years, and he told me, why don't you just look at marketing? He told me marketing is a strong fit for you and your creative talent. I thought about this option for quite some time because my knowledge of marketing wasn't enough to convince me to go through with this big decision. I was approaching my junior year, and I didn't see a visible path, and that scared me. I did not want to be unhappy with myself and what I was studying, as I hear college grads often say they spent their time within a major that's irrelevant to their current career field. I wanted to accomplish my goal of graduating college and being proud of what I studied, as it is a goal that I hold dear to my heart. I submitted a coder for Poole, and from there, a new door with a world full of opportunities was waiting for me. Had I not exercised control over my emotions and acted irrationally due to stress, anxiety, and failure, I would have dropped out and never seen the bigger picture. I know it's hard sometimes to manage complex emotions, as we all have obstacles to jump through. You may find yourself in situations such as finding the right career path, managing emotions in relationships, and the loss of a special someone. Inevitable emotions like depression, anxiety, grief, and many more will arise. But these situations present us with great opportunities to control our emotions so that we come out on top every time. And that brings us to our final C, which is commitment. Commitment is a decision you make, considering all the outcomes, sticking with it, and knowing that you made the absolute most out of your opportunity and accepted a challenge, not defeat, by the hands of adversity. I had some doubts due to time, anxiety, and lack of knowledge whether Poole was the place to be. I was unsure if I would obtain the goals that I had set for myself, because up until this point, I questioned my own strength and abilities to endure during this point in my life. But I persevered through the doubt and tough challenges. Changing my major and joining Poole has been the best decision of my life. So many opportunities opened for me that I would have missed out on if I chose to quit. Had I not transferred, I would not have been a student in Professor Thomas Burns' Marketing Methods course of the spring of 2021. Professor Burns, I thank you dearly. Going into the summer of 2021, I was looking for an internship and a job opportunity. You had sent me the Apple campus leader position with no context at all. I had never heard of this position, but I just knew Apple was a company that I've been striving to work for. I was blessed with the opportunity to join the #1 company in the world full-time. My life began to change from that moment forward. I got to spend this past summer in Los Angeles for the first time in my life as an intern on the organic social media marketing team for Apple Services. Thank you. I have fostered strong connections with Apple leadership executives, and most importantly, I've enjoyed all the success as well as the stressful nights that come with that environment. I'm forever grateful for those that have guided me, betted on me, and given me an opportunity to give everything I have to strive for the finish line. Without that in hindsight, I would not be able to exercise the 3 C's and set myself up for a strong career after college. And most importantly, obtain the degree that I spent years working towards. So I say this, no matter how things may look in your life, when you feel as if your plan isn't unfolding the way you envision, just remember, there is something greater in the works. It's okay to be lost sometimes during your challenges, but don't give in to your emotions. Maintain control with the help of your support system. Stay true to yourself and finish strong with your undying commitment. The 3 C's of resilience would dictate an outcome that ends in success for any goal that you have set for yourself. By the great Virgil Abloh, founder of Off-White Clothing, former creative director of Louis Vuitton, may he rest in peace, once said, "Dreams come true when you don't sleep." Cheers to the long ongoing 4 years of sleep deprivation and resilience. Go Pack!
Well, thank you, Jeremiah, for those inspirational words. At this time, I would like to acknowledge our Poole College of Management team members who have made this event possible. Please join me in expressing our appreciation for all their efforts. Now it is time to present the graduates of NC State's Poole College of Management. Today, the Poole College of Management confers 8 doctoral degrees, 141 master's degrees, and 422 bachelor degrees. Congratulations to all of our Poole graduates. Before presenting the graduates, I have a few logistics. Each of you will be presented individually by academic program. Each doctoral and master graduate will be announced and hooded individually. We ask that family and friends please remain seated during the presentation ceremony. A professional photographer will photograph each graduate as they cross the stage. You'll be notified via email when these professional photos are available. At the conclusion of the ceremony, immediately following the faculty recessional, the academic program flags will be moved to the main concourse. The flags will be arranged in front of the section of the original hardwood floor from Reynolds Coliseum. We encourage you to take photos with your family and friends in the front of this backdrop. Again, this is the main concourse by the east entrance. Now let us begin the presentation of our graduates. We will begin with the Jenkins graduate programs. On behalf of the Jenkins graduate programs, I congratulate all of the graduates whose accomplishments we celebrate today. Jenkins offers multiple degrees, a doctoral degree in economics, master's degrees in economics, accounting, business administration, and management. The graduate hooding ceremony signifies academic and personal milestone. The hood is a special part of the academic regalia that demonstrates scholarly and professional achievements. In addition to the presentation of hoods, you may also notice some of our graduates wearing stoles or cords. They represent a rich variety of honors and associations in which the graduates have participated during their time here at NC State. Now let us begin the presentation of hoods. We will begin with the Masters of Economics graduates. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Economics, I would like to congratulate all of today's graduates. Denny Peltier, the chair of the Department of Economics, will present the graduate degrees. Zhayong Zhang, the director of graduate economic programs, will hood the graduates. Will the graduates of the Masters of Economics degrees please stand and come forward?
Yanxi Li. Chowdhury Abdullah. Su-Dong Chen. Imran Chioza. Congratulations to all of our economics graduates.
Now we will recognize our Masters of Accounting graduates. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Accounting, I would like to congratulate all of today's graduates. Kathy Krozik, Professor of Accounting, will present the Jenkins Masters of Accounting graduates, and they will be hooded by Scott Showalter, Director of the Master of Accounting Program and Professor of Practice in Accounting. Will the graduates in the Masters of Accounting program please stand and come forward?
Michael Zimmerman, Sr. Matthew Dylan Johnson. Sam Aljor. Annie Joseph. Ureli Degrado Diaz. Andre Jamal Little. Jennifer Ann McClamrock. Emerson Cole Weaver. Rebecca Leanne Lippard. Holden Patterson Barham. Jason Parrish Lee. Tyler Everett High. Trey Spence. Matthew Pearson. Yoneli Cedillo Flores. Congratulations to our Master of Accounting graduates.
We will now recognize our Masters of Business Administration graduates. On behalf of the faculty in the MBA program, I would like to congratulate all of today's graduates. Lee Chamblin, Director of Leadership and Professor of Practice in the Department of Management, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship, will present the Jenkins Masters of Business Administration graduates, and they will be hooded by Jonathan Bowman, Chair of the Department of Business Management and Professor of Marketing and Innovation. Will the graduates for the Masters of Business Administration please stand and come forward?
Dasmond Maurice Caldwell. Colin Patrick Gallagher. Adrian Harris. Jalen Harris. Lauren Evans. Sandra Monica Fernandez Arias. Indu Priya Maleni Ragopathy. Stephanie Ortiz Colon. Danielle Sarah Zenner. Madison Taylor Davis. Susanna Trotter. Anna Fabre. Jessica Drummond. Caleb Jeremiah Stewart. Aurora Awanu Komanescu. Matthew Taylor. Joni Medlin. Ipsita Dipanuita. Mary Beth Pelletier. Scott Christopher Dorr. Bryce Lawler. David Tapp. James Harris. Tavares Holly. Adrian Jerome Newsom. Michael Aaron Blue. Michael Ernest Stout. Chinaka Savulu Veerapaneni. Jessica Ann Bronchick. Poole Chin. Poole Chu. Kenneth Justin Jernigan. Anthony Salvatore Trazzolino. Brian Augustine Kochuk. Kimberly Cozart. Stephen Lynn Cockman. Darvir Aliwalia. Pablo Salvador. Paulo Faria. Robert Peverly Hukill III. Zachary McIntosh. Keisha Fairchild. Christopher Wachter. Ashley Trent Moorhead. Jacob Alexander Vertel. Congratulations to all our Master of Business Administration graduates.
We will now recognize our Master of Management graduate. Will our Master of Management graduate please stand and come forward?
Paige Levy Ballinger. Congratulations to our Master of Management Marketing Analytics graduates.
Good afternoon. I'm Nicole Miller, Assistant Dean for the Jenkins MBA program. In the Poole College of Management, awards for undergraduate students are in 3 academic disciplines: accounting, business administration, and economics. I'm proud to announce that 422 undergraduate students will receive their degrees today. Congratulations to you Poole graduates. We will begin with our undergraduate accounting degree recipients.
I'm Roby Sawyers, Chair of the Department of Accounting and Professor of Accounting. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Accounting, congratulations to our graduates. Dr. Al Chin and Dr. Paul Williams will present the Bachelor of Science in Accounting graduates. Will the accounting graduates please come forward?
Robert Alberto Lopez. Megan June Job. Maxwell Alexander Stylster. Morgan Michelle Wright. William Zachary Gorman. Elizabeth Byrne Matalvo. Tanner Buff. Ryan James Schlossberg. Alexander Colby Walsh. Garrett Evan Hewitt. Bessalot Tassama. Frank Harper.
William Luther Pritzky. Brandon Eugene Morton. Jacob Daniel Cruz. Dodson Tanner Wyke. John Samuel Blue III. Chase Birch. Nayeli C. Cortez. Tram Quinn Le. Mason Pickett. Hey, how you doing? That's great. Oh, I'm sorry. Heather Sherry Curitan. Johnny Cooper Fuller. Tyler David Shear. Emily Brevard Orr Iverson. Angus Malcolm McQuoid.
I'm John Carr, Chair of the Management, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship Department. The Business Administration degree is jointly offered by the Department of Business Management and the Department of Management, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. On behalf of all the faculty of both departments, congratulations to all our graduates. Faculty members, Dr. Bradley Ashbaugh, Dr. Tom Burns, Dr. Turnay Kaner, and Dr. Roger Mayer will present the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration graduates. Will the Business Administration graduates please come forward?
Jeremiah Graham. Peyton Anthony Holder. Rebecca Claire Scott. Kinston Davis Whitener. Morgan Ricciardelli. Nadwar Nee. Oh, Virginia. Catherine Ann Klinger. Faith Anya McNeil Hintun. Landon Milray High. Jackson Lee Raynor. Madison Lee Bishop. Hamilton Yale Fowler. Sonia Lynn Dubiansky. Mario Antunes Arzate. Congratulations. Matthew Christopher Lang. Jada Whitney Landrum. Alicia Lauren Ramjan. Arthur Rogers. Sanclep Gotour. David Landa. Rory Liam O'Donnell. Taylor Lowry. Riley Claire Wolfgang. Jonathan Carleton Perry, Jr. Owen Michael Apostolico. I practiced that one too. Jake David Rodur. Frank Mitchell Fortescue. William V. Sigmund. Alexander Warren Reed. Samuel Boshian Parrish. Brooke Renee Kappeler. Salahadin Jamal Haddad.
Bethany Nicole Riggs. Abigail Catherine Ross. Nash Sheehan. Stephen Bradford Osborne. Logan Zachary Beach. Anna Grace Saley. Bailey Alexandria Pollard. Grayson Kate Sessoms. Elizabeth Lauren Ogren. Isabella Ray Thurman. Peyton Andrew Hopkins. Angelina Rose Greco. Lauren Elise Strickland. Lauren Euler. Jacob Hallard Smith. Cameron Alexander Goodwin Lee. Cameron Bailey Little. Sarah Wood Smith. Pooja Ajamani. Marielle Harns. David Kamel Atik. Nora Lee. Congratulations. Matt Baines Berenson. Shrija Nupain. Suna Chesney McAdon. Marlon Shaki Boyd. Jordan Umstead. Alexa Laura Whitus. Caroline Elizabeth Craighead. Braxton Wright. Naina Archaya. Vignidath Ampale. Marshall Baskin. William Richard Simpson. John Robert Bryant.
Elliot McClendon Pettis. Zuma Lu. Justin A. Lowing. Walker Harvey Ross. A.J. Thomas. Karis E. New. Zach Gonda. Emily Coolers. Akira Rhodes. Jake Michael Doran. Dylan Mitchell Turner. Helena Camille Brown. Taylor Neil Walcott. Samuel Weinberg. Michael Madera. Kristen Andy Heeman. Jessica Gray Cooper Lineberry. Jonathan Byron Hare. Andrew Robert Cox. Andrew Colton Blake. Maximus Hay Long Merrill. Giorgio Tassios. Matthew Austin. Blake Anthony Snyder. Anthony Rito Biaggi. Elizabeth Gansey. Andrew William Jane. Benjamin Tate Finley. Alec Douglas Nugent. Michael James Brown. Darius Evan Malik Alston. Davis Richard Ganwa. Adelina Josephine Mejia. Danielle Giselle Rutko. Congrats. Timothy Jake Whelan.
Alexander James Naylor.
James Matthew Collins. Thomas Hayward Page. Jordan Sharber. Shamatia Marie Gazzola. Zain Majid. Joshua Ryan Jones. Hampton Victor Clements. Alfred Braswell Cooper Willis. Charles Justin Krysiak. Sam Gates Fitz. Chet Hamilton Willis. Haki Ding. Yining Zhao. Christine Haight. Bernardo Jose Torres. Margaret Ann Jean Swanson. Benjamin James McGann. Jordan Charles Hall. Riley Nicole Ferguson. Sarah Ann Rowe. Matthew Caffrey. Thank you. Holden Rourke McGinnis. Joseph Yoon Kyu Hong. Michael Cullen Fields. Vishal Shiganti. Samaran S. Thotla. Liam Toste. Kelton Blake Towery. Elisa Chieli. Ashley Laura McGuire. Michael Alexander Navia. Andrew Slade Douglas. Robert Randall Myers. Abigail Faye Turek. William Christopher Shomo. Jonathan Zamola. Brenly Ann Williams. Noah Benjamin Atwood. Josiah J. Frost. Dalton Stencil Peel. John Christopher Clemens. Tyson Ben Liu. Elizabeth Danielle Evren. Erica Ashley Yeomans. Patrick Severio Sullivan. Brandon T. Slaughter. Adrian Pender. Evan Dare Creech Pritchett. Grayson Alexander Bolt. Adonis Lawrence Kinsey. Chu Zhang. Caleb Alexander Norris. Veronica Sizransava. Sumed Dadi. Lucas Rivera. Victor Thomas. Timothy Winfield Rose. Mohammed Mohammed. Alexander Casiano Rivera. Yao Lu. Peyton John Stamey. Jack Edward Erickson. Cassidy Ann Christopher. Yuga Liu. Hua Sun. Yika Lee. Xiang Wang. Kyle James Ridgway. Lucas Mizrani Mikalaros. Sarah Bashir Mohammed. Adam Habib.
I'm Denis Pelletier, Department Chair for Economics. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Economics, congratulations to all of today's graduates. Faculty member Andy Noel will present the economics graduates. Will the students graduating with bachelor's degrees in economics please come forward?
Max Fuenmayer. Hayden Bryce Lewis. Megan Glenn Risley. Catherine Rose Russell. Vanita Vinod Sejwani. Jordan J. Walters. Declan Cordell Shea. Jacob Michael Bujiga. Ann Caitlin Nemeth. Omar Kareem Muhammad Aladami. John Bick. Mitchell Owen Eveland. Benjamin Casey Barrett. Benjamin Alec Nuss. Mateus Ebargwin. Malik Rashad Grady. Congratulations to all of the economics graduates.
So now please join me in welcoming Grains of Time to sing the NC State Alma Mater. We invite you to sing along with the lyrics found in the commencement programs and on the screen above.
Where the southern winds so softly blow o'er the fields of Caroline, there stands ever cherished NC State as thy honored shrine. So lift your voices loudly, sing from hill to ocean side. Our hearts ever hold you, NC State, in the folds of our love and pride.
Once again, on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Poole College of Management, congratulations to all of today's graduates. Best wishes for the future and a terrific celebration day for you today. Students will be dismissed row by the usher and will exit by the main concourse. For our guests, please meet your graduates on the main concourse after the recessional. Everyone, please join me in one final round of applause for today's graduates.